Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Martin Outside. By request from many of our Patreon members, I'm going to do an episode here on my day hiking system. I'm going to start by talking about my day pack. I have this Camelback backpack that was a Christmas gift to me back in 2008 and has really held up. Besides repairing the pockets that got snagged a little bit on some bushwhacking trips, I really like this pack. As you can see, my trekking poles fit well in here. It has a nice size compartment, main compartment, and then it has this front compartment with little pockets so I can put some of my other items, as well as a hydration pocket. From there, I'd like to move on to the clothing. And of course, things change from season to season. Right now, we're in what I would call a cold spring season. It's the last week, we're going into the last week in April in upstate New York, and let me just first apologize for this being an indoor video. I intended this to be outdoors. I wanted to be out there where there were trees and maybe even some birds chirping, but no, this is upstate New York. We got snow. So yes, and I was without electricity for a good part of the day. So here I am going to do it indoors. So let's move on. When I need warmer clothing, this time of year when temperatures are still going to be, I'm going to say 70 is kind of my comfort level when I will get rid of these warmer clothes on my day hikes. In this dry sack, this red dry sack, I will pack my long johns, a warmer shirt. This is something I usually wear on my winter hikes, but I will pack it on spring and fall hikes where I think the temperatures could get colder. And then I bring an extra quick dry shirt. I also like to bring my liner gloves. Again, this is a winter item, but they serve me well when it's a little bit chilly out there, especially early spring, late fall mornings. They really do a good job. Now let's move on to some other items. We'll move on to electronics. I have this rechargeable flashlight here. It recharges by USB. And this thing is super powerful. Go see my video of us hiking up to Overlook Fire Tower. And it was amazing how well this thing works. But what I liked about it is I can recharge it with my charging bank that I use for my phone. It doesn't require batteries. I kind of like that. So if I get out there and I'm out there really for a real long time and it's starting to dim or goes dead, I can easily recharge it and not worry about having batteries around. In addition to packing a headlamp, I bring my lightweight flashlight and a spare battery for that. And lately I've been bringing the selfie stick. I use it sometimes. It's fun. We get some cool pictures, the gang and I. I'm at a point now, YouTube loaned me a GoPro, so I'm thinking about giving that a try. Maybe tomorrow's hike will be the hike I do it on. I've already covered my first aid kit, so of course that's in my day pack. On to some other items, important items I bring with me. Now, I don't want to break this down by 10 essentials because I think the term 10 essentials is something that's becoming old. We no longer have the 10 essentials. It's now 10 essentials plus bring this, and this as well. So I'm just going to go through my items as I bring them. Because now I'm moving on to the items that are on every trip I go on, starting with the first aid kit and the electronics. I bring chapstick, and of course, a map and compass. You know how to use them. Put them in a place where they're easy to get to. Like I said, what I like about this pack is that I can easily put my map and my compass in here and I can get to it. I like to bring a wet wipe with me. I have a couple in my first aid kit, but I like to stick a few in the front so they're easy to get to after lunch, clean up my hands. I have Body Glide. I started using this. If you don't know what it is, I could do a whole episode on why we would need Body Glide and when to use it, but look it up. This is really worth the money to have. Trust me guys, if you look it up and know what it's used for, you'll know what I'm talking about. And ladies, there's a special Body Glide out there for you as well. Bug spray, I use whatever is around the house. Last year, my wife had picked up this Burt's Bee bug spray, so I've been using this. I have some sunscreen, This one's a roll-on. I go back and forth between the roll-on. Sometimes I like the spray. Quite honestly, the spray seems to be more convenient. And a little foot powder. On those days where my feet are maybe a little soggy, a little sweaty, we stop for lunch, sprinkle a little foot powder on there and let them air out and maybe feel a little better. In fact, somebody has requested I do an episode on foot care, and that could be coming up in the next week or so. I also carry with me this little repair kit, and yes, it's little, but I'm pretty sure I can MacGyver the heck out of anything with what I have in here. I have dental floss in here, sewing needles, a big lighter, couple zip ties, some thread. I've got a fire starter in here and fire starting material. This little thing goes with me on my backpacking trips, and it only weighs, I think, 2 ounces, 2.5 ounces. And like I said, I can look like MacGyver out on the trail with this. I bring a bug net with me. Always have. But honestly, I could say in the last 10 years, I've put a bug net on maybe 2-3 times at the most. But I'll guarantee if I forget it, I will regret it. I always bring it with me. And for the price and how much it weighs, why wouldn't you? A bandana, the trusty bandanas, right? Multi-purpose item, always in my pack, always on my possession, easy to get to. Poop kit. Could probably do an episode on that too. Trowel, toilet paper, wet wipes, and sanitizing. I found this really cool little spray bottle of sanitizer. And again, this is a kit I'll bring with me on my backpacking trips, but I really like this. For the weight and how much is in here, it's really worth it. And I bring these black bags. I bought these on Amazon. There's a lot of areas, and it's becoming more common and more recommended practice to pack your toilet paper out with you. In addition to the sanitizer I have in my poop kit, I also have a hanging one on here too. Now, another little convenience item, not a little one, not another little one, a convenience item. I picked this up 2 years ago, this little sit pad. This comes in handy on days when it's a little wet out, a little moist out, or maybe you just want to be a little comfortable. Pull this out of the pack, it fits in here nicely. I've been bringing that with me. I carried it with me last year through Vermont and Massachusetts, and I really liked it. I liked it at night too, in the lean-to. The nights I spent in lean-tos weren't many. I was able just to lay out my stuff I needed for the night. Keep my flashlight there or my headlamp. Now on to if the poop hits the fan stuff. Yes. What if the poop hits the fan? Things go really bad. What do I have with me? I have 50 feet of paracord. I have one of these little light sticks. I carry a Mylar blanket. I have this little bivvy. This is an emergency bivvy, and it's pretty much, I guess, a Mylar blanket, but in a mummy-shaped sleeping bag. So that'll keep me warm if something goes bad, or one of my hiking companions need to be taken care of. In the other bag, from my poop bag, the poop hits the fan bag, I have a nice thick pair of wool socks. Yes, even in the summer, you could get hypothermia and you want to get your feet warm, put these on. This will work. And a wool cap. Yes, even in the summer, I'm carrying a wool cap with me. And last but not least, and I will be doing an episode on this, this is the final piece of my if the poop hits the fan bag. And in here, I could spend a night with everything I have here. I have matches. I have one of those little fuel cubes, so I can even set up to boil some water or cook something if I wanted to. I have a mini flashlight. What else do I have in here? It's just, yeah, this is just a plethora of little odds and ends that could come in handy should I be stranded. I even have a miniature X-Acto knife, and I'm going to do a whole episode on this. That pretty much covers what I carry with me. In addition to this, obviously, I carry water and food. A lot of times, on the 3 seasons, I'm not going to count winter, but spring, summer, fall, we will carry some lunch in and midway through, we start looking for a nice place to sit and have lunch. Hopefully we find a place with a view. If we can't find a place with a view, we will then look for a place with just maybe some nice logs or rocks we could sit on and eat lunch. In addition to that, I'll pack some protein bars or just some snacks, some quick energy type of items to keep me going. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe and hit the notification button. Visit papabearhikes.com and make sure you listen to our podcast, the Papa Bear Hikes podcast. Everybody have some fun. Get outside and be safe.